Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the Game Awards, who won, and why it's not actually an award show. This is a Cow's Opinion 2023. 2023. 2023. Oh, but it's almost over. Guys, welcome to your weekend episode of A Cow's Opinion, where I, the Gaming Cow, go over the latest, greatest, and sometimes weirdest news in video games. And today, we are going to be looking at all of the winners of the Game Awards, talk about couple of opinions people have had on the internet, as well as the fact that I want you to know that the Game Awards is not an award show, at least not anymore. But we're using PCGamer.com, and we are going to be looking at the game. So let's start from beginning, and then go up. So we had Best Esports Game, which is, of course, or event, which was, of course, League of Legends World Championship. If you've seen a League of Legends Championship, they have K-pop, they have a massive stadium with 3D holograms, they have, like, tens of thousands of screaming people. No other esports. I love watching EVO, but Valorant, EVO, none of this stuff is going to be able to compare. League of Legends makes so much money, and they put a big portion into the production for the championship. Best coach is Potter of Evil Geniuses on their Valorant squad. And best esports team was JD Gaming's League of Legends. And best esports athlete was Faker. Now, I don't watch a lot of esports. I watch it casually. I watch the big championship stuff because it's fun. But I don't follow it. Faker, I know because he's been part of League of Legends scene for so long, and he just wins a lot. But the rest of it, I don't really know, but good for them. Best esports game was, this surprised me, Valorant took over from League of Legends. I'm amazed, because League of Legends is still so popular. But I guess the wave right now is with Valorant, and we'll have to see how that goes. For Content Creator of the Year, it is Iron Mouse. She's a VTuber. She's the only one of these five I actually knew. So, yeah. I watch Mori and Cinder a little, and those are the only major content creators. I mean, I watch Jesse Cox. I see a little bit of Dodger. I don't watch a massive. And if there's people, I watch a lot of people like Orbital Potato. I watch Pravis. I mean, I don't watch a ton of different stuff anymore. Most anticipated game, Final Fantasy VII makes sense. Like a Dragon's gonna be great. Hades 2 is a great game, but I don't think it's super anticipated. Tekken 8 and Star Wars Outlaws just don't have enough hype behind them. Best adaptation went to The Last of Us. It should have gone to the Mario Brothers movie. I'm sorry. It should have gone to the Mario Brothers movie. Best multiplayer game was Baldur's Gate 3. And if you watch the rest of this episode, you're going to see that Baldur's Gate 3 wins a lot. Best racing, Forza. Forza is just amazing, and it always wins. Pikmin actually won Best Sim and Strategy. I thought Fire Emblem was going to take it, but I'm happy for Pikmin because Pikmin is just fun. Best Family Game, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. When they announced that game, it was in the bag. Best Fighting Game, Street Fighter 6. I love this one because they came up with a great story mode that actually teaches you all the different fighting mechanics. You're not going to be top tier in the pros when you finish, but you're going to understand what you need to work on if you want to play competitively online. And that's amazing. Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. Best Action Adventure, Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Best Action Game, this one was great. Armored Core 6. I'm so happy to see a mecha game beat. Dead Island, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2. Nothing against any of these, but it's so cool to see mecha. Best VR, Resident Evil The Village. Not surprised. Capcom puts a lot of work into their VR games and modes. So, I'm not surprised. Honkai Star Rail, the Hoyoverse just has tons of money to put into their games. I don't remember if last year there was a controversy because they were offering a ton of in-game rewards if they won mobile game on their other game. I don't know if they did that again with this year, but if they did, wouldn't surprise me. Look, with mobile games, if you want to win and you're popular, just promise your fans, like, hey, vote for us, and if we win at the Game Awards, you go get like 18,000 in-game currency or something like that. They'll do it. Best indie debut is Cocoon. And as you can see, they removed Dave the Diver from Best Debut Indie Game. Oh no, it's right here, excuse me. Best Independent Game, Sea of Stars deserved to win. You might have recalled there was a bunch of... Dave the Diver is made by a small team, Mint Rocket, but it is owned by a major publisher. It's just like it's like a secondary, half internal, half whatever team. So there was a lot of controversy about Dave the Diver being considered an indie game. And Jeff was like, well, maybe it's more of a style. That's what the judges thought. That indie is more of a style. Jeff is starting to get a little worrisome, and we're going to talk about that. Best community support, Baldur's Gate 3. If you've ever been on their forums, they're in there. They're there. They're ready to help you. Final Fantasy XIV also has a really wonderful community, by the way. Best ongoing, Cyberpunk. Not surprising. I mean, they really turned that game around. Games for Impact is Chia. It's kind of a little like a wandering game. It's cute, but it's nothing that I was ever going to play, or most of you guys have probably even have heard of. Innovation and accessibility, Forza Motorsport. The things that some of these games do so that anyone can play them boggles my mind. Best performance, Neo Newborn for Baldur's Gate 3. I believe he's the vampire dude. And congrats to him, because he went up against Idris Elba, Ben Starr for Final Fantasy, Cameron from Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Yuri Lowenthal for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Amazing. Best audio design, Hi-Fi Rush. I had to go back and look at some playthroughs of this. But that game is just so dependent on sound that, yeah, it had to be amazing in its top tier. Best music, The Legend of Zelda. Nintendo knows how to make music. Best art direction, Alan Wake 2, as well as best game direction and best narrative. I love Alan Wake, and it surprised me a little, but good on them. Good on Remedy. Player's Voice, Baldur's Gate 3, which is the one where players get to vote on everything. Game of the Year, Baldur's Gate 3. So you might have heard me say Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. Baldur's Gate got 6 with 8 nominees. Alan Wake got 3 with off of 8 nominees. Still pretty good. So let's talk about the Game Awards right now, guys, because first of all, this is upsetting some people. There are a lot of action and collectible style, open world style gamers who are upset that Marvel Spider-Man 2 got shut out. They didn't win anything. I've even seen somebody on Twitter like showing a cutscene. It's like, how the hell does Baldur's Gate beat this? And the comments are just flaming that dude. It's like, because Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game and achievement. You can do anything in there too. You're dumb. Look, I understand people upset, especially because the first Insomniac Spider-Man game came out, and it had the same problem. It came out at the time of some really epic games and just got shut out. So the Spider-Man fans were really hoping that this was going to be their time. It was not. And I feel for you, because I don't have it personally, but I've seen people playing it. They absolutely love this game. And I know that it sucks when you lose awards shows, especially things like Player's Voice and Game of the Year. But again, look at the Cyberpunk. Genshin Impact is going to be able to rally its fans. Baldur's Gate 3 and Legend of Zelda for Player's Voice. And then Legend of Zelda, I don't know why Mario Wonder was Game of the Year, but Resident Evil 4, it's a remake, it's a little weaker, but Baldur's Gate 3, Alan Wake 2, they had some stiff competition. And it doesn't mean the game sucks or is bad, it just means that they had some stiff competition this year. But let's talk about something else. Because guess what? There's a little bit of controversy that the Game Awards had wrap-up music and wasn't afraid to use it. Miss Cleo Jackson here on Kotaku, thank you. So I'm not going to read a ton of her article, not because it's not well written, but because I have a lot more opinions on this than I usually do. So last year, when the man who plays Kratos was accepting his speech, he went on for like 7-8 minutes. And this year, the Game Award, and rightfully so, he was getting like best performance. And the guy deserves to talk about it, but 7 to 8 minutes on a regular category is a little too long. I mean, me and the people watching at the time were like, how long is he going to go on? They even joked about it. He came out, and presented the first award, started talking, they immediately started playing the guy. He's like, I'm sorry. It was really fantastic joking from everybody involved. But unfortunately, this year, what they decided to do was they had a 30-second timer. Now, some people were worried that they were going to talk about the serious issues facing their labor, or yet scarier, the conflict in Gaza. The conflict in Gaza would have been terrible. Look, it's very political, and some people in the comments are going to flame me, but nobody's opinion is correct in Gaza right now. It's just a horrible situation. Yeah, somebody deleted a tweet that referenced the war in Ukraine. Guys, and that's amazingly terrible. But I understand, because they understand that they have a massive audience full of opinions and thoughts, and you don't want to. This is the prompter from the Game Awards, guys. Please wrap it up. It would count down from 30 seconds, and then it would start display this for a little bit of time, and then they would just play you off. That's what they do. They play you off. Now, that sucks. And I want to show you this. So hang on a second.
Spent their hearts and souls for 6 years on this game.
Here is, thank you, Mr. Javier. Because look at this.
We lost quite a few people also, so we want to dedicate this.
This is them accepting Game of the Year.
To Jim or Lead Cinematic.
Please wrap it up. While they're accepting Game of the Year, the major prize at this award show. Now, this was bad enough. Yeah, here's the Dave Awards showing the prompter as well. Now, this was bad enough, and a lot of people criticized that half of the awards, more than half, I think, were just rapid fire by Jeff between celebrities and game trailers and ads. And a lot of people criticized that the Game Awards didn't actually have awards. Now, this morning, Jeff Keighley himself recognizes that while no one was cut off, the music indeed felt like it was too quickly. He tweeted, "By the way, I do agree that the music was played too fast for award winners this year, and I asked our team to relax that rule as the show went on. While no one was actually cut off, it's something to address going forward. The readers have added this context. Attendees and other viewers of the TJs have confirmed that Jeff's claim that no one was actually cut off is factually incorrect. Neil Newborn was cut off for the live audience before he can conclude his speech, and the broadcast had the end of his speech played off." Now, the wrap-up music was not automated. Some Axios' Steven Tortilla has confirmed that there was manual control of when to start the 30-second countdown to please wrap it up, son. Manual control of when to make it flash was tweakable. And here's the big thing I want to tell you about, because you know what the title of this episode is. The Game Awards is not about awards. Not anymore, guys. It makes a lot of money. It killed E3. It's now the big event that we all look forward to every year. And it's a little sad that a developer can win an award and A, not be mentioned, not get to make a speech, but then 2, 30 seconds and you're done. Some of these guys were pouring out their hearts and souls. The developer, a few years back, there was a game called That Dragon Cancer, I believe. And it was a love letter made from a dad because he and his wife had lost their little boy. And it's a very, very sad game, but it's a beautiful game. And he gave this wonderful speech afterwards. But you don't get that anymore. You don't get these passionate people anymore. You know what you do get? You get a lot of celebrities. The cast of Fallout came out. They were fun, and it's a video game adaptation TV show, but none of them were gamers, you could tell. They didn't have a lot to say. And, you know, they were there. And look, here's probably my most controversial opinion of this. I love Hideo Kojima. I love all of his games. I've played a lot of them. I think Hideo Kojima is one of the best game developers of all time. He was at the Game Awards to show that he was working with the direct, I can't remember his name. Well, someone's going to correct me down there, and thank you for that. The guy who wrote Get Out, the guy from Nope, the guy who wrote Us. Oh, a brilliant horror director. I do feel like he needs to stick the landing in his horror movies just a little better. But the movies are fantastic. And They're working on his new game OD, and Hideo Kojima came out through the door from PT. He's confirmed it's not related to PT. It was just he liked the symbolism. He came through the door of his canceled game PT, but he and Jeff talked for 10 minutes, and they didn't have any gameplay or any real they just had a couple of people's heads talking on screen for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But they didn't show it. He had nothing to show at this time. Just, hey, we're making this game. And look, he's really big friends with Jeff Keighley. And that's okay. But you didn't let the people behind Sea of Stars have any moment. And Hideo Kojima got 10 minutes to talk about a game that is years away from coming out and nothing can be shown right now. They had more ad time than they had for people to accept awards. And again, they didn't even let most of the awards be, at least half of them were just mentioned rapid fire quick. Because we got to get back to ads, guys. And I'm not saying you can't have lots of trailers. You can have lots of trailers. But boy, if you didn't watch the pre-show, they just went through a bunch of game awards on the pre-show. And people who were watching live online or in the audience live commented, hey, what happened to this one? It's like, oh, that was on the pre-show. It's like, I didn't know it was going to be on the pre-show. Why are you doing the awards on the pre-show? So, guys, the Game Awards is not an award show. It's a trailer and a commercial show now. It doesn't mean that 2024 can't be better. It can be. But Jeff needs to really look at himself hard in the mirror and realize that why you can make a lot of money. And look, it costs a lot of money to rent that theater and to do all that stuff. And there was really good stuff at there. A lot of great trailers. We got to see some people accept awards. The Alan Wake 2 musical number, fantastic. More of that kind of thing. But they had the guy from Shang-Chi who's voicing a demon character in the Stormgate thing come out with it. He had to walk out on his broken foot. They had Matt McConaughey, hey, I'm in a video game too. And then they showed his game trailer, but I couldn't even tell you what character Matthew McConaughey's even playing in that game. Because I didn't recognize his voice at all. Maybe he's just a really good voice actor. But I didn't see Matthew McConaughey in that game. The cast of Fallout came out. And, more promoting their show. There were random celebrity. Gonzo was funny, don't get me wrong. And I liked the little random levity, but, Gonzo's not in a video game. There's no Muppets video game. He's not selling anything, he's just there. There were random celebrities that did not need to be there. I love Hideo Kojima, and it's okay for him to come say hi every year, but there were actual people who released actual products that needed to be recognized, and the Game Awards didn't get to do it. They just rapid fire went through a bunch of them, and most of them got their time cut off. And again, Larian Studios made a beautiful turn-based RPG that's probably going to get a lot of RPG makers to go, oh, I can release RPGs again. That's amazing. The head of Larian talked about what Baldur's Gate 3 meant to the team, how it was their pandemic project, how they lost Jim Southworth, their lead cinematic artist on Baldur's Gate 3 to cancer just last month. One of the most humane moments in a 4-hour onslaught. But hey, please wrap it up. CD Projekt Red took home Best Ongoing Game. And Anthony Mackie's fun. He was calling out to the audience, and we couldn't hear the audience, so I don't understand what he was saying, and plugging Season 2 of Twisted Metal, which is cool. And then the CG Projekt Red team got very small time before the music started off. Now, again, Jeff had to host, so there's a limited amount of stuff he can probably do. But I would like to see 2024, Jeff. You need to put the awards back in it's okay that you've replaced E3. You deserve it. You give gamers what they want. But we would like to see the hardworking devs, especially in 2023, after so many of them have been fired, their companies have been acquired because of poor management, and they're, losing jobs. How about we recognize these devs? Because, you know what? We play a lot of games on this channel. and we don't even pay attention on the credits like most people. You might recognize some voice actors, Matthew Mercer here and there. Matthew Mercer was at the Game Awards too. He's just so introverted. I feel bad. It's like you need to hug the poor man. But you know, you recognize a game director, a game designer, a really great voice actor from now and again. But most devs don't get the recognition they deserve. They don't have the voice they deserved. If the Game Awards is not about the devs, then just change the name of the broadcast next year. Guys, did you watch the Game Awards? Let me know what you think, because there was a lot of cool trailers. Sega, you beautiful, beautiful company, making Golden Axe, Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi. Oh, I don't even remember the last one, but they're reimagining Streets of Rage. They're reimagining 5 games and more on the way. Give me Shining Force. Give me Lunar Silverstory. Give me freaking Phantasy Star, baby. I love it so much. It makes me so happy to see them getting back to their roots as they realize that gamers want not just massive AAA titles, but we'll take AA and single A and indie games too. If it's fun, we will play it. Let's put the games back in the Game Awards, guys. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, if you watched it, what you thought. Do you think that there wasn't enough time for the devs? Do you think did you prefer the trailers more? You better not tell me you like the commercials. Ain't nobody liking the commercials. But let me know down in the comments what you like, what you didn't like. And you know what else you can do? You can play more games. Games are awesome, and you deserve awesome. Next time, I'll see you then.